Hello. Okay. Now that we have this, I'm just checking my sound real quick. Hello. There we go. Hi, welcome to another episode of the weekly brunch. I'm trying to fix this. Give me one moment. There we go. So you could see me a little better. We have a little sunshine, which is actually working against my lighting. Welcome to another episode of the weekly brunch. Um, Before we go through, I'd like to remind you to please like, subscribe, and share. Now, today's topic is about staying positive. We're in the holiday season right now, and the holiday season tends to be a little rough on people sometimes. It tends to be a little downer. For one, it is November 2nd. So today, we got an extra hour of sleep, which, believe me, it was much appreciated on this side of the fence. But with the blues of the holidays creeping up, and it's probably been creeping up since the weather started changing in your area, it started getting cooler, and you started to realize what this season is. Although it is supposed to be a happy season, there are a lot of issues going on right now that are making it not so fun. So we're going to try to get into the habit as we're approaching Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Satinella. All these things are celebrated during this part of the time of the year, which happens to be the darkest and for most the most depressing part of the year. So one thing I'd like to bring to your attention is, and I want to show this. There we go. Actually, the person I want to show here, give me one moment. Okay, are you familiar with Dr. Masaru Emoto's? If you're not, you probably have heard of his water experiment. Now, this what you're looking at right now may not appear to be something of significance, and it may be confusing. But in a nutshell, he's saying how we are mostly water, our attitudes and the energy we put out, or our self-talking, can change the way our body functions. Now, he did the water experiment, and it's really, really simple what he did here. Where you see thank you, right here, where you see thank you, that thank you is the result of water crystals after basically people, I believe it was monks, because I believe he used monks for this experiment, meditated on those two words, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what the water crystals, after they put it under the microscope, looked like. Now, if you look over here, they did the same thing, but instead they said, you disgust me. And this is what the water molecules look like. And the last one was love and gratitude. I learned about this particular experiment years ago. And if you don't mind, it's about a 5-minute clip. We're going to go ahead and play this 5-minute clip. And I have the link for this clip if you want to go back and revisit, which is worth revisiting. And we're going to go ahead and take a listen on the water experiment.
This next series of photographs are the work of Japanese researcher Mr. Masaru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. water is the very source of all life. This photo shows the beautifully formed geometric design of the Yushi Spring water. This next photo is from the Shimanto River, the last clean spring in Japan. Notice the extraordinary geometric forms. The fact that the molecular structure of water can be affected by our consciousness, our intent, and our sounds is extremely important. This photo is from the Mount Cook Glacier in New Zealand. Mr. Emoto has been visually documenting these molecular changes in water by means of his photographic techniques. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan. In this photo, we can compare the contaminated water with clean stream water. Look at the difference. Mr. Emoto decided to see what effects music would have upon the structure of water. He placed distilled water between two speakers for several hours while playing different music and then photographing the crystals that formed after the water was frozen. This photo is of water being exposed to Beethoven's Pastorale. This photo is the effect of Bach's Air for the G-string on the water. This photo is water exposed to Chopin's Farewell Song. This next photo is water being exposed and affected to music that was designed for healing. This photo is of water being exposed to the Kawachi folk dance. This photo shows the effect of heavy metal music upon the water. Here now we can compare the effects of healing versus heavy metal music and what happens to the water molecules. Mr. Emoto decided to see how thoughts and words affected the formation of untreated distilled water crystals by typing words onto paper and then taping this paper onto glass bottles overnight. This photo shows the effects of the words, "Thank you." This next photo shows the effects of the words love and appreciation. This photo shows the effects of the words, "You make me sick, I will kill you." And here we can compare the effects of thank you with the "you make me sick, I will kill you." Very, very different geometric forms being occurred through the intention. Now this photo is of a very polluted and toxic water from the Fujiwara Dam. Here now is the same water from the Fujiwara Dam after a Buddhist monk had offered a prayer over it. Prayer, that sound coupled with intention, seems to have an extraordinary ability of restoring water to its natural, harmonious, geometric symmetry. And in this photo we can compare the toxic water and then the effects of praying over the water.
The reason why I shared this video on this program, on this particular recording, is because your thoughts, what you input, affects you internally with your with your health, with your well being. So, staying positive is very, very, very key, especially now during the holiday season. Now, I'm going to go through some of the benefits of actually staying positive. Okay, one of the benefits of staying positive is the reduction of stress and anxiety, which is something we suffer from, especially now. Everyone's trying to get that perfect holiday season experience. So if you stay positive, and on the screen here you could see I have a few tips here on how to avoid anxiety, but you have to have that positivity mind frame to keep up with it. As you can see, it says practicing breathing exercises, which would go to meditating. You have take care of your sleeping routine. Skipping hours of sleep is not an option if you want to stay positive. It's important for you to get the proper rest. Now, in the center of here, you see focus only on the present. That is part of getting the rest and focusing on you. It brings you center, but I will touch on that one later. Okay, another benefit is it helps your mood. You help your mood. You're in a better mood. You're able to participate, which I'm going to touch on activities and items that will help you stay positive and get your task done. Okay. The next thing is you have an increased resilience. You reframe your mind, how you think. Being positive is changing the way you think. You get adequate sleep. Again, I remember I just said just a few moments ago, don't skip on your sleep, on the amount of hours of sleep you get. Um, if you're not able to sleep, it's good to start practicing meditation and explore the power of your positivity. These are all things that help you remain positive once you get there. Okay. So you will also it's a lower risk for chronic disease, the aches and pains. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's not going to alleviate the chances of getting these, but it would lower the risk of having chronic pains, of constantly having stomach aches or headaches. Well, headaches is not necessarily chronic, but aches and pains that can't be explained. When you get those chronic pains, it's usually due to how you're thinking about things. And it's important to remain positive, even if you're going through it. Trust me, I just experienced that this last year when it came to an injury I had. And when I went to one of my doctors, told me, I'm surprised you were able to push through. And I had to wonder, how was I able to push through the pain? I was able to push through the pain because of positivity. There should have been an additional part of that by actually going back to the doctor. But through positivity, it lowers the risk of chronic pain. Another one is enhanced problem solving. There is no such thing as an unsolvable problem to you if you remain positive. Some people, I used to be called someone who looked through the world in rose colored glasses. That's who you want to be. You want to look through the world through rose colored glasses and remain positive. Okay. Now, improve immune system function. That goes back to the chronic. You're able to fight off the colds or any ailments, most ailments. I can't say any ailments, most ailments that may come your way. So that's another positive that comes if you remain in a positive mind frame. Um, Another one is you have a faster recovery from illness, which does hit my previous one. Reduce pain perception. Um, if you remain positive, the pain doesn't overwhelm you. Now, this is a tricky one because just because the pain doesn't overwhelm you doesn't mean there's something not going on there. So you should take the proper steps to talk to the doctors and everything else as a precautionary measure of anything that might be bigger. Um, Improve relationships. And I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. It improves your relationships in a matter of how you deal with people around you, how you deal with others. Also, increase productivity. The more positive you are, the easier it is to be more productive, whether it is work wise or whether it is on your personal projects. Enhance life satisfaction. I don't even have to go into that. Now, we're going to talk about ways to remain positive once you've gotten that positive uh, attitude. Let me see if I can add this one here. Well, one of the things is something I talked about in a couple of videos ago, a couple of months ago, was gratitude, showing gratitude, giving gratitude. That is a way of remaining positive. And it's not just remaining positive for you showing positivity towards someone else, but it's also reinforcing someone else's positivity or positivity in whatever you're doing. Gratitude is key. It's also very humbling. Um, Another way to remain positive is engage in positive activities. What could it be? Excuse me. Surround yourself with positive people. You are the people you hang out with. So you want to hang out with positive people. You want to put in your circle people who are positive, critical, but positive. Someone could judge you, not judge. People could criticize you and still be positive. Criticism helps us grow. So having yourself surrounded by positive people will help you grow. And you'll know who is positive and worth being within your circle. Please excuse the sweatiness. As you all know, we go through that. Hobbies. I understand a lot of people are getting ready for the holiday seasons. Do you have any hobbies that you wanted to delve right back into? Like crochet, sewing, soap making, candle making, baking. Baking is a hobby. Cooking is a hobby. Some people love cooking, some people don't. To each their own. But what is your hobbies that you left behind, that you've been lacking in? You want to stay positive? Do something that makes your heart sing. Exercise. Uh, Exercise is a word that carries a ton for many people, but exercising helps you remain positive. When I was really, really big into exercising, and when I mean big on exercising, I think you couldn't stop me from going to the gym every day. That's how much I like to exercise. Getting there was an issue. How did I get there? I remained positive. By the time I walked out there, sweaty, exhausted, I could have went and ran a marathon and I could have ran here and there because that's how much it helped. How can I say this? Reinforce that um, positive act that I've done of taking care of my body and exercising. Exercising is key, and it has a plethora of benefits if you do it correctly. Nature is your friend. Sometimes you don't need to do anything, any big, extravagant anything. All you have to do is go for a walk. Every area, most areas have a park, nature, trees, even especially now, if you're in the New York area where I'm at, I'm in the city. But if you have a car, you could just take a drive up a couple of miles outside of the city up north, and you are in beautiful nature. And now is the time to do it. If you're going to do it, now is the time to do it. There's apple picking still going on, I think, pumpkin picking. There are so many different activities that could take you out in nature, and it just helps ground you. And once you're grounded, oh, that positivity just sparks. Um, and this is very key. This is the key one. I love this one. And this is the one thing we do not do for ourselves. Celebrate your achievements. Let me explain. Celebrating does not mean going out and having a big bash or a big party and inviting a whole lot of people. Celebrating could be something you do yourself. You could treat yourself to something that's you don't normally treat yourself. And don't forget to challenge. I mean, okay, just so you know, if you get negative thoughts, which they will happen, negative thoughts will come, negative thoughts will be an issue. Um, Learn how to mentally push them aside, and you will be better for it. Now, how do you combat those negative thoughts and those negative feelings that you may have? Focus on the present. Focus on the here and now. You are here. What happened before is not implementing you right now. You want to stay positive. What might come in the future is not. Stay present. And that will help you stay positive because now you are not in the what if world, right? When you want to stay positive, stay out of the what if. Turn what if in how can I? And that's how you'll be positive. Take care of yourself. Earlier, I did mention sleep is key of taking care of yourself. You need sleep. Um, there is a study, and I might touch on it later on a special focus thing. Lack of sleep causes anxiety. Lack of sleep causes um, loss of concentration, lack of productivity, and it's a spiraling hole that you go down. Your diet. You are what you eat. That is a saying that is so true. Take mind of what you consume. Try to eat more organic, grown food, locally grown food. This way it doesn't travel as far. That helps you stay positive. A fireplace can't keep you warm if you have no wood to burn. Your body can't function correctly if you do not put the right food in you, if you don't put food in you. Everybody has their selection of type of firewood. Some people like to go straight to nature and dry it out during the summer if they can, if it's not too rainy, and use that firewood if that they have a fireplace. Some people they won't touch the ones that are sold in the warehouses or in the places like Home Depot due to induce chemically treating the wood. So you want to be careful of what you put in your body. Do you want chemically treated wood or do you want fresh cut natural wood? Just is just a thought. Meditation. When I was in kindergarten, I don't know how they do it now. When I was in kindergarten, they used to make us take naps. Yes, make us. I was not a napping type of child, but I had to lay my head down and at least act like I was sleeping. Meditation is a way of taking that nap without going and closing your eyes and taking a nap. It centers you and it helps you be present. You could do different low impact exercises instead of going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. If that's not your thing, you could always do yoga. YouTube, I think Rumble. There are so many places there that you could find videos that focus on yoga. It brings you into a meditative state if you do it correctly, and it helps you with your health and it helps mobility with your body. Cultivate your optimism. First of all, leave the outside noise outside. People will always assume how you should take a step, what steps you should take, and that's not where you want to go. You want to cultivate your optimism. Let's put it this way. I remember a situation a couple of years ago, almost 10 years, I say 8 years ago. I, 8, 9 years ago, I was big into golfing. Hopefully, I'll be able to golf again. But it was a hobby I liked. I got so into it. I had a full set of golf clubs every weekend. And every chance I had, I was either at the driving range or I was at a miniature golf course. And I was practicing my skill. And I was so happy and I was so into it that I was like, I like this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I could start competing, even though I was too old to start competing at that time because it's a whole process. Everybody goes through process, but it was something I love to do. You could always compete as an amateur. You don't have to be a professional. And my goal was not to win big bucks or have an acclaimed name. It was just a hobby I loved. And how did that get spoiled? And that was my mistake. Someone came and said, "Oh boy, why would you do that? You're too old. People start doing that when they're young." And it killed it for me. And why? And most people say, "Well, why did you let somebody do something like that and say those words?" My positivity was not there. I was just having fun and I let someone basically piss on my positivity and piss on my dream. Um, Protect that. Cultivate that optimism on whatever you like to do. Is that the reason why I mentioned doing a hobby earlier? Is that the reason why you dropped that hobby? Because someone outside who has nothing to do with it made a comment like that? That's what you have to have in mind when it comes to this. Now there are a few key things that I'd like you to remember. Remember that you can't be positive every minute of the day. So you'll have negative thoughts, or something may happen that may upset you. That's okay. That's called being human. That's called being in the present. Just don't sit there and fester in that. That's how you kill your positivity. And that's not the goal. We're not here to kill positivity. We're here to grow our self positivity. Um, Another way to protect your um, positivity is, remember, everybody is unique. So comparing yourself to one person or another is beneficial to no one, especially you. If you see some traits in someone that you may admire or may want to emulate, take note of that. But do not compare yourself to those persons' actions or position or talents. We are unique beings. Remember that. Your goal is to remain positive and let your unique ability flow and shine, basically, because that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to shine. Another way to protect your positivity is using positive visualization. When you are taking on a task, just keep in mind how beautiful it would be for anyone, if anyone, but you. It will be when you succeed, when you complete your task, your goal, uh, whatever it is. You could always visualize and see how good it becomes. Now, this is another one that I actually like and is seek support. There's always like minded people that are out there ready for you, ready to support you, and in that same light, be ready to support them. Now, there is something I wanted to share with you, which I find beautiful. Now, I woke up this morning and I really try not to, when I first wake up in the morning, although that's all I usually get. And I try to look at something positive. Well, this morning I kind of did a mishaps and I did not see something positive. And matter of fact, I saw, and I'm going to put the link in later. I should have put the link in originally on this. I was watching something, and basically it was a compilation of TikToks of Jamaicans basically saying we should not be there. And they was founded. We should not come back because of certain incidents that occurred at a resort where Americans were staying. Now, at first, I was like, I could understand because I've traveled around the world being a service member, and I don't know why I'm like this, and it's not the norm, but I never want to insult the country or the place I visit. It's called being uh, a well behaved guest. Well, I guess someone didn't behave correctly and they didn't like it. And I was a little disheartened. Not the way you want to be in the morning. So after a while, and I got up and I'm running my errands. And, it's Sunday. We move slow. Getting my brunch together. Cinnamon, cinnamon, um, cinnamon bun, and soup I have for later. I ran across this beautiful, beautiful clip on X. And what we're going to do, and I usually just play the videos when it comes to X, but this one actually deserves me actually reading the post. So this is from, and if you want to follow him, you could follow him on X, is Chase with Ham. And basically, he put so much love watching these travelers from New York, New Jersey, Florida, Illinois, and Pittsburgh help out after the Hurricane Melissa, which devastated the southern part of Jamaica. Stuck in Jamaica, but choosing to clean and care for the resort. That's the American heart shining through. Now, I love this so much that I feel that you should think about this and visualize this. If you lose hope in humanity, this is what you want to remember. How these people, now mind you, these are people who are down there on vacation, or they weren't home. They were visiting for one reason or another Jamaica when this hurricane hit, which was a devastating Category 5 hurricane, which I tell you what, my heart, I don't have family there. I'm not related, but my heart was my in my mouth, worried about how this hurricane was going to hit that island. And this is the result afterwards. And I'm going to go ahead and come on off, and I'm going to say until next week, keep this in mind as you move through the day, because there's always positivity.
I appreciate you, sir. Respect, respect. Yes, where you from? Indiana.
Pittsburgh, PA.
Pittsburgh.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Where you from?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Jersey. Where you from?
No.
All right, where you from?
Florida.
Florida. Where you from? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. My lovely lady, where you from?
Montreal, Canada.
Montreal, Canada is in the house. Where you from, sir? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Sir, where you from?
I'm from Iowa.
Iowa. I will appreciate you.
Not a problem.
In this time of trouble, I will call upon some great friends, and you are one of them. So thanks for your effort, thanks for everything. I hope God see we soon back out of this storm. All right? It's a pressure. You moving here? Wow. Make it be end and now with Jamaica.
The first 2 words that I heard in Jamaica were welcome home.
Welcome home.
My wife passed away in May.
Wow.
I have no children.
I'm sorry.
I've been around the world.
I'm sorry.
And the best place on earth is Jamaica.
Say it again.
The best place on earth is Jamaica.
What more we want to hear?
The best place on earth is Jamaica.
I could never born nowhere else in the world
And I'm here
but
with
Jamaica.
A broom. I'm here with a broom. I'm cleaning it up.
All right, all right, all right, all right. It's the only place you find such a great family. It's Secret Breathless Jamaica. Love you guys. We soon be back from this storm.